We are live.
Okay. Barb?
Huh?
And take roll call?
Oh, I didn't know we were starting. Sorry. Sherry, she's here. Barb here. Larry?
I had left him a message. I didn't hear back.
KK?
Here.
Richard? Tom?
Yep.
Jason?
Here.
Linda?
Here.
Chris?
Not coming.
Chris had an appointment, so yeah, he's excused.
Beth?
She'll be late. She's coming.
Tandra?
She is out sick today.
Ryan?
Here.
Bernie?
Here.
Here.
Steve? Not on my list here, are you?
Did I miss them?
Yes, he's not on here.
You wasn't here last time, I don't think. I don't know.
Here, Sherry.
Sorry, Steve.
All right, looking over.
No problem.
This is December's minutes. And it's like a book.
Like to make a motion to accept the minutes from the December meeting.
Do I have a second?
I move. Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are we just adding Steve on there?
Yes, with the addition of Steve's name. Sorry, I should have said that.
Okay. Got a guess is Tim. Welcome. Old business, Jason? That's your first one up.
Sure. We just finished up the OPRA, Ohio Parks and Recreation Association Conference. Was that last week already? Jeez. Seems like it was just yesterday. And that's that, we're lucky to have that conference right here at Kalahari because everyone's traveling from Cincinnati, Columbus, Southeast Ohio, Southwest Ohio, everywhere around the state. And we have it right in our backyard. So Linda, me, Ryan, and Tandra and Chris went to different sessions. And every year when we go to this, I try and at least bring back some of the sessions that we went to and let you know what we did while we were there. I went to a couple roundtables. One was for facilities and operations with different groups throughout the state. Some of the discussion went around how they lease or they buy vehicles. And, it's kind of varying throughout the state of how they do that. I went to another conference about wetlands that they, Akron area where they had converted over some areas to wetlands. We kind of have a wetlands project going on with Mills Creek Golf Course. So it was really interesting on kind of how they made some conversions of things and how even like wildlife moved back into some of these areas that they've been able to restore. And then I went to another session about collaborating with other departments. So like how we do with Dragons and Bacon Fest and how we do with Touch a Truck is a big one. When I told the group how we, work with police, fire, and how large our Touch a Truck event is here. So they were really interested in, how we collaborate with our different departments here. So those were a couple of things that I went to. I'll leave it to Ryan and Linda to talk about kind of what.
I was there on Monday and I attended, it was called Measure Your Economic Impact. And it was interesting to me because we have these events and then to determine when, you're having an event, how much impact it's having with restaurants, even people getting gas, it was pretty interesting. And then alternative revenue, how to get it. So it was a lot of people sharing different grants that they've received and how they work with their senators and representatives on getting money in the budgets, the state and the federal budgets, and how they secured that funding.
I went to a good session in regards to community events, and it was the idea itself was kind of basic, but it really put in perspective why we do community events, and it was just kind of a nice refresher as far as that goes. I went to a good leadership one, it makes you ask the question, are you coaching or are you criticizing when it comes to feedback with your staff or people that you work with? I went to a good one. It was from Geauga County, the person who runs the parks there, and he highlighted how many partnerships they have, which is kind of relevant to us because we have a lot of different partnerships, whether it's priority use agreements, whether it's like working relationships. I thought that was pretty relevant to the work that we do here in Sandusky. So those are just some of the sessions that I went to that were pretty cool just to be a part of and kind of see what other organizations are doing and what we can possibly take back to ours or what we could do. And yeah, so.
Any questions on the,
Is this an annual conference?
the first
So
week of
we've
February?
attended, or you all have attended in the past? Okay.
Yeah, they used to have it travel around the state, different locations, which it's a blessing and a curse to have it right in your backyard because we don't get to see another part of the state. We're just basically driving down to 250 and going to Kalahari and doing the sessions and then trying to multitask and keep everything running smoothly. So, yeah.
All right, moving on. Ryan? Golf course?
I just had golf course on the list for an update for just where we're at. We're not open yet, but
Some people out there playing a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
We're moving along with good projects that we have with the cart path and the new bridge as well. So those are, I believe both of those have either been put out to bid or in the process of going out to bid. So those are two projects that are very exciting that are going to improve the golf course a lot and we're looking forward to. So that is what we have in terms of the golf course.
The car pass, it's total connectivity then from number 1 all the way to number 9?
I don't think it's 100% connectivity,
Just
but
we started that project with the NatureWorks grant probably 2 years ago, and it was only when we owned half of the course, the east side of the course.
Yeah.
So this is just on the east side for holes 1 and 2, and then we get some of 7, 8, 9 on that side. So it'll connect on that side, and then hopefully in the future, if we're successful with it and we like what happens with this, we can look at the other side for future.
And I'm just working on just replacing just general items for the course that need to be replaced prior to us opening in April. And but yeah, it's moving along pretty good. So
We also have a position posted, as a clubhouse attendant?
we've got some interviews set up for next week. So we're hoping to add a couple of staff members to our clubhouse staff. So hopefully we can do that to help improve the staffing for this year as well. So.
Any questions on those?
Mark Fogg coming back?
Absolutely. It doesn't run without him.
No, it does not.
Jason, Paper District, Arena?
Yep. At a previous meeting, we had a question of the numbers coming in from Paper District Marina. So for 2024, I didn't have a chance to print these out, but I can provide them to all you, email it out. But the revenue from the marina this past year was $58,750. The revenue from 2023 was $70,100 compared to 2022, which was $61,950, and 2021 was $49,600 for the past 4 years at the marina. We did see a spike after COVID of people using their boats and getting out there more, so it's kind of settling back to where we were number-wise as before that. Any questions on the marina? Youth programming updates. Tandra is out sick today, and we did have to cancel our program today due to the weather kind of taking a turn here. Hopefully, it's not too icy out there as we leave later tonight. But February Out of School is going on through this month, and I think we've been, 60 to 70 kids a day. And we have Midtown Supper Club coming up, which would be, it's on Earth Day this year, so Tuesday, April 22nd is the date for the dinner. I have flyers that are also on our Facebook page, and there's some printed versions down there if you want to pick one up. They did interviews for this year's chefs in training, and I think they're full. They're going to be full once they get those chefs in there for that. So that's exciting, and Tandra wanted me to let you know that you can get your tickets online or check with us on getting tickets for that. It's a around the world theme, so 7 different continents.
Where is
And
it held at?
It's held at Mills. So
At Mills?
yep, no, Mills School, our home over at Mills School. So the chefs go for a 7-week program learning culinary skills, and then it wraps up with one night of. And I know many of us have been there before for it. It's a lot of fun. The kids get a kick out of it, and we're looking forward to that event.
And you said April 27th?
22nd, yep.
And there'll be food from each of the 7 continents, themed food.
Very cool.
Regular old Epcot.
Yeah. And then spring break camp, registration will open for that soon. I don't think we have it posted yet, but spring break camp will be the 3 days after that. So the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of that week. So the 23rd, 24th, 25th for spring break camp. But registration is not open for that, I don't believe yet. Any questions on those? All right, Run Dusky Race Series, we drew our winners for this past year, and that was Dawn Bonnet out of Castalia and Doug Green, who lives in Berlin Heights. They won, they did more than 4 events last year, so they were put in a drawing for all of the races. They get their races covered for this year, and that includes Ironman. So they were both pretty excited, although Dawn was a little overwhelmed because I don't think she feels like she's ready to do a full triathlon or a half triathlon. So I told her she can do with that entry as she wishes. It's part of the package. So if she either wants to do a relay or have somebody else take it, she can do that. And then our lineup is set for next year. As you know, we have that limited to 9 events. It's the Blue Streak was out this past year, but is back this year. So we took the Ironman out so we could fit all of them as 5Ks, because Ironman was one where you don't have as many people locally doing a half triathlon. So we'll still give a credit to those volunteers that do volunteer for the Ironman and participate. We'll give them some sort of bonus stamp on that, but it's good to have the Blue Streak back in. That lineup will be publicized here very soon with all the all 9 events that are throughout the season. That includes Blue Streak, Boy with the Boot, Race Before the Game, the Lions Club race, All for Abs race, the Humane Society 5K, the Rush to the Crush,
Drea.
and the Drea 5K,
Good
which is
job.
over Labor Day weekend, yeah. Any questions on those or any of the old business?
Anything else on our old business? Jason, new business?
The fastest event this side of the Mississippi is set for April 12th, Saturday, April 12th. That's the week before Easter. So typically we were on the Saturday of Easter weekend, but this year we're going to bump that to the weekend before because of the way that spring break is kind of falling there. So I say it's fastest because everybody knows that's helped set it up, that it takes an hour to get it all set up. It takes 3.5 minutes for all the eggs to get picked up. So we'll look forward to having that on Saturday, April 12th. We already have some Easter eggs, 1,000 from Sandusky Police given to us. So we'll put those in with the other 2,000 to 3,000 other eggs, and our hands will cramp up from putting all the candy in the eggs, and we'll have a great time. Would ask any of you that want to volunteer for that morning to put out the eggs. And we plan on bringing the bunny in via fire truck again.
Who's dressing up in that?
I don't know. We've
It'd have to
had-
be tall.
Peter Cottontail.
Always looking for volunteers.
No, it'd have to be tall.
Who was it last year?
And not a whole lot of hair, so the
It hasn't
No.
been crazy.
head fits good.
Was it Ty?
Didn't Dante do it one year? Didn't Dante do it one year? Wasn't he the Easter Bunny?
He did it for a lot of times, didn't he?
Yeah,
I
and
think so.
I don't know how many times,
Yeah.
yeah.
put it on his calendar, April 12th.
He's tall.
I know.
Okay, moving on, the movies by the Bay, Ryan?
Our movie lineup is pretty much set for this coming summer, so the movies will start. These are played on Mondays at 7 p.m. for 8 weeks. June 16th is the first one, and it'll go through early August. We are looking for, so our sponsor from last year is not returning this year, so we are actively looking for sponsorships. If anybody knows any businesses who would be interested in sponsoring the movies, we're pretty flexible. The potential sponsors could do per movie, they could do the whole thing, they could do half of the lineup. But if you know anybody who might be interested, you can, whether it's directly to me or Jason, we just ordered business cards, so I don't have cards to hand out at this second. But if they contact either one of us, I can get those businesses the information that pertains to movie sponsorships. But yeah, we are definitely looking for sponsors for this summer, so.
And the movies are already selected?
Yes. Do you want me to go through those?
You don't have to go through them, maybe just tease a couple out there, but we don't get everybody to know
I
exactly.
just want to know if Happy Feet is one of them.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, there's,
2026,
Okay.
put Happy Feet on the list.
I'll jot that down, though.
Okay.
Moana 2 is one of them. Shrek's another one. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go through everything. Airbud's one.
Everybody's always.
So those are just a couple of the movies you can look forward to seeing this summer at the pier, so. But
Parks and facilities.
Parks and facilities.
We've had a winter this year. Last year, we didn't seem to have that kind of normal winter that we're used to. So snow removal's been big for our greenhouse grounds and public realm folks. They've been getting the Christmas decorations down. The cookie house just was taken back over to the service center. Just a kind of a sidebar, there was construction going on Monroe Street, and the guys that were doing the construction, there's a construction crew over there, when they saw the house going by, they had to get a picture of it because they'd never seen anything like that going down Monroe Street. But the cookie house is Leadership Erie County, the Leads Group reached out to us for a project that they were looking to do. So they are actively looking at doing a project as redoing the floor and doing a little bit of renovation for the cookie house for the next season. They came to us and they're going to start doing that. Santa's house.
Santa's house.
And then the two hippos that are down in Washington Park are going to be refurbished during this off-season by the same person that refurbished them 20-some years ago. So we're looking.
What
Looking
about the snowman?
So the snow,
Come in white.
so just to put it on the record, the snowman's face and so is Santa's face were both redone this past year by Loris locally. We didn't get new garland for the snowman, so as nice and fresh as those faces looked, it kind of made it look like the other stuff wasn't as fresh. So we have new garland on order, and we will have the new garland on the snowman and the Santa coming this next year.
The things we worry about.
Anything on,
Anything else in our new business?
It's me and you, kid.
That's right.
Okay, open discussion. Tim? Come on down.
Come on up here. I'll introduce myself for the record, but you all know who I am. Tim Schwanger, Sandusky, born and raised. I went to the city's rec board website this morning, actually Facebook, and I ended up getting Sandusky, Michigan came up, okay? But I took the opportunity to take something from their Facebook page to share with you, and I know probably you can't all see this far, but it looks like our sled hill out on Mills Golf Course, but it's not.
Right.
It's theirs. What they did was they actually have what they call a little free sled library, where the city or somebody built a cage out of a pallet and 2x4s, and then a group, such as myself, if we do this, donates free sleds for anybody that wants a sled out there that doesn't have a sled. So it's too late for this year, but maybe for next year.
It's snowing this weekend.
Well, I know, but
Don't say that, Tim.
we've got Florida weather coming in 2 weeks.
I hope so.
I can't promise that, but anyway, we probably will. So that's for next year, and I'll send Jason a picture of this, for next year maybe. City crews could build that, and I'll get a group together and donate some sleds. I might even have one from when I was a child. Who knows? Okay, so the other question I had is, if I want to communicate with this board, instead of waiting for once a month, can I send an email maybe to you with information that you could share with the rest of the board? Or am I able to get the emails however the law department feels about something like that? So I might have some ideas or thoughts before the next meeting that I can share to the whole board, okay? And I know this question's been asked, but I need to ask it again. The tennis courts at the high school, do any of the school members here know what the plan is for the tennis courts that are at the high school?
I do not know the actual plan. I do know that I actually put a work order in today to put the nets up, except for court 5, so they can practice on it.
Okay,
I rented courts at court 1 for 6 home games, and according to schedule, the courts will be ready for fall sports, girls tennis, but I haven't heard any word on what to do or what they will do with those.
okay, I
don't even know offhand if it's owned by the school system.
It is.
It is?
It is.
Okay.
okay,
We're reevaluating all of our athletic programs and seeing if we can maybe shift some other things around. Nothing's set in stone yet, but we'll probably announce something as the tennis courts are coming, because we'll want the community to know what we're going to do with that space.
Nice.
It will be used for.
Be nice to have
sure.
softball field there.
I always save the best for last.
Wink.
Basically, we have 2 winter outdoor sports available to kids and adults, except for I ice fish, but that doesn't count. The sledding hill, which I just brought up at Mills, and then the ice skating rink at the Jackson Street Pier, and the ice rink out at J.C. Park, Whiteman, Weber. And what I was looking for this morning on the city's Facebook page is all of the times that the rec board or the rec committee put the posts of the Jackson Street Pier ice rink, and then also the posts of the rink at Whiteman Weber, how many posts the city has done on those. From 2022 to 2024, the rec department posted 27 times about the rink on the Jackson Street Pier. Between 2016 and 2024, which is 8 years, what I saw, there might be more. If there's more, I apologize. For the Whiteman Weber ice rink, there was 13. Half of the advertisement than the Jackson Street Pier in more years. I did 8 years and I did 3 years for the Jackson Street Pier. My point is that we need to do a better job of marketing what we have in the winter. And I know this, and I told you guys probably about 2 months ago that, it was predicted that this was going to be a cold winter. Okay, so the rink at J.C. Park has been phenomenal, okay? But how many people, even on the weekends, use it? Half a dozen, 3, and it's because we're not getting the word out. Sherry can back me up on this. Back, I think it was 2017, 2018, we actually advertised a grand opening with a fire pit. We had a company, I think it was Green Leaf Coffee or something to that effect, had coffee there, hot chocolate, cookies, Christmas music. It was great, wasn't it? We had probably, 30 people there for that grand opening?
Yeah.
So I think, and a lot of times we forget about winter activity because we are a summertime tourist community. But we can't forget what we have here locally for our kids and I still ice skate. I'm not going to tell you my age. I look 35, but I'm older than that. But I still ice skate. I'd like to see next year, again, it's kind of late for this year, but maybe getting back to that idea of a grand opening. Now, I can tell you this. At Monday's meeting, the rec department has applied for has bid out a $95,000 contract, and Jason can talk about this a little bit more. $95,000 contract to turn that ice rink at J.C. Park into a pickleball court, okay? Old folks, pickleball. Now, I asked at the commission meeting if there was going to be any attempt to also use that in the winter for an ice skating rink. Right now, if you all know, the city in the wintertime puts like a rubberized type tarp over the top of that subsurface so it's protected. And then the water lays on top of that. One of the commissioners said, for spending $95,000, we better not use that as an ice rink in the future. Now, I do know also, I think it was Colleen Gilson from the development department brought up the fact that they are reaching out to whoever the contractor is going to get that and see if we can still use that for an ice rink or if it's going to damage whatever they lay down on top. But she did say that they are the city is looking into maybe replacing that rink with another rink. I hope they're serious. I really hope they're serious and not a small rink like the Jackson Street Pier. Try to get something comparable to what we have out there at J.C. Park right now. So I just wanted to put that in your ears. I don't know if you want to discuss it here, what your thoughts are, but that's kind of the way I'm thinking about it. And also, I love social media. Getting these same types of comments on social media about, are we going to lose our ice skating rink in the winter? So, thank you.
Well, you got to remember, ice skating isn't as popular as it was back in our day because I was one of those people also. That's why advertisement is very important. You don't have to have ice skates on. It's fun just to slide on.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Advertisement is very important.
Yeah, that's what-
It's not, kids don't know it these days.
Hey, there's people in Sandusky that lived here all their life and don't know that there's still an ice skating rink there.
There's kids in Sandusky that don't go fishing.
Back in our day, we had an ice rink at Lions Park, we had an ice rink at Battery Park, and we have one out here at J.C. Park, but, we're in jeopardy of losing that. And I hate to see us lose that because, there's not much to do in the winter outside. So, thank you.
I can comment a little bit just as Tim knows, and I was at that grand opening in 2016, 2017. I was on rec board before that and was asking, why aren't we using the ice rink that's out at JC? And at that time, I was kind of met with what ice rink out at JC? So getting that up and running was kind of a big thing when we were able to do that. I know that the size of that rink and the depth of that rink and how it was designed makes it difficult for us to keep consistent ice on it. And as Tim knows, we've had ice ready to go, and then 3 days later we get the Florida temperatures that he's talking about, and we have, it's tough to keep ice on that. So, yeah, we do find that when you get the word out, and I would ask if Tim had put in like a search in also the Jackson Street Pier Facebook page and City of Sandusky Facebook page, because a lot of that's shared now. So there was probably a lot more posts about the real ice rink at JC when it would, because we had a lot more days. Last year, we didn't even have one day, I think it was open. But we've had consistent and good feedback on the ice rink at the Jackson Street Pier when we have that open from November to January. But I understand, like, winter recreation is something that we've really tried to do. We're not the UP of Michigan, the Upper Peninsula, where, in certain day of the year, it's snowmobile time, and it's, probably Sandusky, Michigan probably has even a little bit more snow than we have too. But we're always looking for, ideas and anything that we can do to do more winter recreation that can be outdoors. I know that I got a call the other day about why aren't we using the bay as an ice rink, or using Sandusky Sailing Club where they used to, over the boat basin over there. Well, frankly, it's right now that's a liability issue if this,
I fell through channel.
I remember that story. I know who you fell through with, I think, too. Yeah. So that's a challenge as far as there's ice all through the bay. But just putting anything out there it'd be great if we could do that, but it's.
But burning barrels out.
Yeah, well, they drive across it. So, yeah. But we'll always, and I like the idea of that sled, little free library sled thing. We did take some of the kids from the the out-of-school program. Tandra and crew took a bunch of kids over there that maybe didn't even know that the sledding hill was right across the street from where we're at. So that was a great day for those kids, and we'll hopefully have more snow in the future because these slushy winters just don't do it for us.
Thank you.
I think it's pretty important not to damage the pickleball courts if you're going to put those in. That's a huge factor. I'm not sure what the protection is of it, but they put that kind of money into pickleball courts.
Is there another spot to put pickleball?
I would think you'd want another spot to put the ice arena before you'd put the pickleball someplace else. I think,
How many courts are there in the pickleball for Whiteman Weaver?
don't,
2 courts there.
For where?
2 courts
There was
there.
2 tennis courts at Whiteman Weaver originally, and then that was,
four pickleball.
I think we're 6. We're going to have 6 pickleball when it's done. And the thought with that is we can get, with adding pickleball there, you can use that space multiple months out of the year, 6, 8 months out of the year, you have pickleball that's being used. We've had, a week, sometimes 2 weeks, probably 8 years ago, we had 3 or 4 weeks of ice skating out there. So, really maximizing the use of that space. But there's other ways to get ice down that we're going to look into and it's not as deep in the middle of that as it is over there. Open discussion.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion. Yeah. Second, yep.
Bernie for pickleball.
Did somebody second?
Color.